And now, Knock 2 Studios presents Common Censored.
Presidente Biden, Presidente Biden, Mr. President. It's okay?
Are you okay, President?
It's okay.
Ok, tutto a posto. Welcome, benvenuto. No, di nuovo, mamma mia. Mr. President, ecco.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Ok, it's okay.
Yeah, very good.
Si sente bene,
Yeah.
sì.
Thank you.
Thank you, mamma mia.
Thank you very
Ecco.
much. I feel good.
You are welcome, buonasera. Dove va? Mr. President, oh mamma.
We're late.
No, non arriva la metropolitana perché non è la metro, it's not the subway, non è la metropolitana qui, no.
What's your name?
Con chi parla? Mr. President.
My name is Joe Kennedy.
No, Biden, lei è Biden, è Biden, ma con chi parla? Certo, prego. Ecco, se riesce, if you can. No, sta girando su. No, Mr. President, not turn, no, you have to.
Oh, my name is
No, ma
Joe Kennedy.
l'ha già salutato, lasci stare. Buonasera.
It's funny because it's true, guys. It's also kind of scary, as well as being funny. What's up, all of you censored commoners, and welcome back to Common Censored. Oh, looks like we got a special guest jumping in with us today, too. Let me pull him up over here. We got Big Ugly in the house. What's up, G?
Got my phone fixed.
Nice. Good stuff. Thanks for joining us today, and welcome back, everybody. This is Common Censored, and I'm Lord Sterling, and we got Big Ugly joining us for episode 158. All the clown world chaos, clusterfuck craziness that we're going to be covering tonight, as usual. The UN invasion underway. We got a little more information about that. We got breaking news about the MAR-A-LAGO raid. Apparently, deadly force was authorized when that happened, so that if there was any resistance, they would have been blasting like Frank Reynolds. So I started blasting. We got Trump lawyers arraigned Christina Bobb and Rudy Giuliani, all kinds of other crazy stuff going on today, as you'd expect. That video that I played a second ago was from this it's from Italian TV, but at Jebra Fauché, good spoof page on X, posted it. Thanks for being here, everybody. Broadcast live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure to join us as we break down all the craziness. Use hashtag CommonCensored on X when you share the broadcast. You can also find us on X at _CommonCensored. Links to all of the content, videos, etc. that we're covering will be listed in the description afterwards, along with timestamps courtesy of Mama Mac. So if you're pressed for time, you're watching this later on, need to maximize the efficiency of your energy and focus, then you can look at the topics that might interest you, find the timestamps, and jump right to that point in the video. They're ish timestamps, so you might need to scroll a little bit here and there, but it's all good. Thanks, Mama Mac, for that. And make sure to check out alplama.com, alplama, yuck, where Mama Mac and fam can take care of you and give you a tincture for all of the potential ailments that you may be suffering from. Mama Mac is off tonight at a choir event for her daughter, which sounds like it should be a lot of fun. But if you want to support the show also directly, you can go to Linktree, to linktree.ee/commoncensored. We appreciate that. Keeps Loki's belly full of treats. Keeps the studio lights blinding me. Before we continue, disclaimer. Views expressed on Common Censored are only opinions. Assume everything we say is false and research for yourself. We're not giving medical, legal, or financial advice. The only advice we are giving is think for yourself.
I'm tired of thinking for
Question
myself.
authority. Think for yourself and question authority, damn it. Don't listen to Mama Mac. Don't think for authority and question yourself. That's a bunch of nonsense. Although you should also always question yourself to make sure question authority, question yourself, and also think for yourself. Thinking for yourself is questioning yourself, right? Kind of. So yeah, thanks for coming on the show today. What's new with you, man?
Not a thing. Got the night off and happy about it.
Nice. So let's jump over into our first topic of the day. Gators, quote of the day coming from Plato. Those who are able to see beyond the shadows and lies of their culture will never be understood, let alone believed by the masses. Is it a real quote? Could be. It seems like he's referencing the allegory of the cave. I didn't check to see if it's actually real, but it's cool nonetheless. Because when you're watching the shadows being broadcast, cast on the wall by the controllers in the allegory of the cave, and somebody escapes, sees the real world, comes back, and tells the people trapped in the cave, there's a whole world out there. They're like, "Nah, man, you're crazy." So it seems to line up with the the allegory. Makes sense to be a Plato quote. Did you hear about this whole Mar-A-Lago situation?
No, I've stayed away from everything today, basically.
Oh, nice. So we'll get some good reactions. This is Gateway Pundit. Breaking newly unsealed doc reveals Biden FBI authorized the use of deadly force during the Mar-A-Lago raid. Armed agents prepared to confront Trump. The classic picture of the dude out there with the little machine gun, rifle, getting prepared for anything to pop off. Joe Biden's ready to have his main political rival Donald Trump and his family killed for a publicity stunt. I don't know if that's hyperbolic or not, to be honest. Judge,
assassination attempt?
What was that?
Would that be considered assassination attempt?
Yeah. I mean, it'd be like a state sanctioned, like a state hit. Basically, if something had happened and they had been there and they had actually popped it off and fired shots, that would be like a state assassination, crazy.
Oh man, the more this shit comes out and the more that nobody's in jail, the more I get pissed off.
Yeah, I feel you. Same here, man. So Judge Eileen Cannon on Tuesday unsealed numerous motions related to Jack Smith's classified documents case against Trump. One filing revealed Biden's FBI authorized use of deadly force during their raid on Mar-A-Lago, authorized by U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland. Tons of new unsealed filings, Julie Kelly is posting over here on X. Law enforcement officers of the Department of Justice may use deadly force when necessary. So they were allowing potential deadly force to be used in the raid of the ex-president to get back documents that were allegedly, this is my theory, what other people have been saying too, the Crossfire Hurricane documents. They went in there to try to get back those documents that Trump took, proving the guilt of the deep state in setting him up and orchestrating the coup against him. And they were ready to use deadly force to get it back, allegedly, in my opinion. Pretty insane revelations. Shout out to everybody that's over in chat. I see you guys over there. Gator D. Bergfeld, Crazy B, that old sheepdog. How you guys doing today? Hope you're having a good week so far. So yeah, this is pretty nuts. Should POTUS arrive at Mar-A-Lago, FBI, MMEM, and OSCs will be prepared to engage with POTUS and USSS security teams. So they're literally talking about Trump, former POTUS. They're prepared to engage with former POTUS. That's bananas. This is like Banana Republic insanity. And U.S. Secret Security, Special Secret Service security team. So, should U.S. Secret Service provide resistance or interfere with FBI timeline or accesses, FBI MMEM will engage with redacted and will engage with United States Secret Service POCs per existing liaison relationships. Crazy.
This is why we need to get rid of the FBI or a clean sweep of it.
It's the
And
Gestapo, man. Just like Julie Kelly says here. It's like
if you're willing to use deadly force on your own people, you're not an American.
yeah,
Especially
definitely. Without due process, you know,
Yep.
it's it's fucking insane. FBI had a medic on the scene and identified a local trauma center for anyone, quote, injured during the FBI raid. Julie Kelly posting all of the receipts for this. Below is a screenshot of the use of deadly force instructions. Quote, law enforcement officers of the Department of Justice may use deadly force only when necessary. That is, when the officer has a reasonable belief that the subject of such force poses an imminent danger of death or serious physical injury to the officer or to another person. They could always just claim that after the fact, you know?
Yeah, well,
there's no...
they must have really wanted to get to Melania's underwear.
Yeah, seriously. Where'd you go, Tweet? Oh, there you are. Birds flying around all crazy, landing in weird places. Can't let her, like, chew on power cables and stuff. Loki, say hi. Yeah, so this is pretty nuts. Recall that Joe Biden paved the way for his Justice Department to arrest his political opponent after he retroactively revoked Trump's executive privilege and his security clearance. This opened the door for the former president to be subpoenaed. The subpoena then opened the door for the Justice Department to charge Trump. And that opened the door for them to put him in jail. And that opened the door for them to pass the legislation where if you could charge for the felony, they could take away your Secret Service. And that opens the door for them Epsteining him in prison. It's like a bunch of, like a chain reaction of banana republicness. That's just a super, super next level. So yeah, they really, really wanted to get into Melania's panties, apparently. Let's check out Trump's truth over here. Wow, I just came out of the Biden witch hunt trial in Manhattan, the icebox, and was shown reports that crooked Joe Biden's DOJ and their illegal and unconstitutional raid of Mar-A-Lago authorized the FBI to use deadly, lethal force. So insane. Now we know for sure that Joe Biden is a serious threat to democracy. He is mentally unfit to hold office. 25th Amendment, although it's not Joe Biden that was organizing any of this. You can be sure of that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know. So totally nuts. Since we're talking about Mar-A-Lago, let's go on a little journey with Mike Benz, who's been a really really impressive guy breaking down the censorship industrial complex. Here he is, having recently been to Mar-A-Lago. He's posting a thread of a tour within the structure. Let's zoom and enhance and check some of this out, because this looks pretty cool.
All right, so we have the unattended piano many years ago. And I'm just going to do a little tour of Mar-A-Lago here. We're gonna walk around.
Look at how gold on everything.
Why do rich people have such bad taste?
It looks like good taste to me, man.
And
Can't no, Dick. Welcome to Mar-a-Lago.
oh, we're still going.
I love it.
How'd you get that real?
Opulence.
No, that's
Look at that.
to me.
It's gorgeous.
So beautiful.
All right, so we have
Let's check out some of these pictures. He's got this crazy eagle sculpture over here with the Declaration of Independence, or is it the Constitution? I can't remember. The one with "We the People" at the top. Super nice. Looks
Yeah,
like
that's nice.
ancient artworks. Look at this. He's got himself on the wall. That's a little cheesy, but
Yeah.
awesome nonetheless. It's like awesome in the cheesiest way possible, or cheesy in the most awesome way possible. Let's see what Benz has to say. Confirming the ancient meme is actually real, with it's like Captain Morganing or something with his knee up. Tour of another of the 20,000 little ballrooms here.
you see, like the artwork is just unbelievable. On every wall,
It's like a museum.
there's like a really unique. I think this one, the theme seems to be sort of shipwreck, stormy seas. This one's really
Stormy Daniels.
And even the ceilings, if you look up at the ceilings.
Beautiful. Look at that. It's like mimicking, like windows looking up at the sky. Art all over the place. Art with doorways in the middle of the art.
And that place is only worth 18 million.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Only 18 million. Not a penny more. Not a penny more. Little cherubs. Just ancient, amazing stuff all over the place. He's posting this like right now. This was posted a minute ago. So we're like covering this as it's breaking. All these pictures. We'll come back to that. Maybe not. Let's skip ahead to some more news. We've got information coming out about the Slovakian Prime Minister's attempted assassination, with Gateway Pundit now reporting that the shooter may not have acted alone. Assassination plot? Paul Sarin asks in this article. The assassination... Oh, go ahead. What was that?
Is he on the right?
Oh, yeah. He's big time going against climate change and the jib-jab craziness and everything.
Yeah.
Yep. The assassination attempt on Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico has sent geopolitical ripples across Europe and the world as the populist leader represented a new force that challenged mainstream EU and NATO views on Ukraine and a whole host of other issues. Now, it is reported that the suspect in his shooting may not have just been a lone wolf as previously believed. The Slovakian Interior Minister stated as much as their security services try to clarify the circumstances of the attack. Fico is reportedly no longer in imminent danger, but his condition is still very serious, so he survived. That's amazing. He got hit 5 times, Tupac style. The 5 shots that hit him marked the first major assassination attempt on a European political leader in more than 20 years, with Reuters reporting. Interior Minister Matas Sutaj Estok said an investigation team had been set up, which would also look into whether the suspect acted as a part of a group of people that had been encouraging each other to carry out an assassination. One factor suggesting the involvement of other persons was that the suspect's internet communications were deleted 2 hours after the assassination attempt, but not by the suspect, and most likely not by his wife, Estok said. This indicated, quote, the crime may have been committed by a certain group of people, Estok told a news conference. It's a conspiracy, man. Deputy Prime Minister Robert Malinak said that while Fico's life was no longer in imminent danger, the condition is too serious for a move to a hospital in the capital, Bratislava. Quote, the worst that we feared has not happened, at least for the time being, Kalinak told a news conference outside the hospital where Fico is being treated in the central Slovak city of Banska Bystrica. We are all a little calmer. When we were saying that we want to get closer to a positive prognosis, then I believe that we are a step closer to that, he added. So, man, please, hopefully this guy recovers. We need all the populist leaders that we can get to form an alliance against the international banking cabal that's trying to enforce communist rule and takeovers across the planet. The shooting suspect, Juraj Cintula, will remain in custody after being charged with attempted murder. He is a 71-year-old former security guard at a shopping mall. Estok said on Thursday that the suspect was angered by the government's Ukraine policy. Fico's government has ended official military support for Ukraine. Yes, that's what we need to do. And taken a more pro-Russian line on the conflict than most European Union partners. What do you think? Conspiracy?
No. No, I mean, they call us the violent ones. I mean, I don't know. It's not a conspiracy. Everything that we've been told conspiracies come true so far, so...
Right. So conspiracy reality.
Yeah. They can call it whatever they want.
Yeah, CIA, internationally funded and directed communist organizations. Wasn't this guy part of a communist organization? The government said last he became radicalized after Fico ally Peter Pellegrini won a presidential election last month, and that he had told police about his dissatisfaction with the government's reforms of the prosecution service and public media, criticized by the opposition as well as the European Commission. Slovakian government and opposition trade accusations of stirring up divisions within society. Interesting. So hopefully he makes a recovery. Leftism, man. It's brain AIDS. It's a virus, the woke mind virus, like Elon says, and liberalism is a mental disorder, like Mark Dice says. And we have a picture coming out of California that sums it all up. Can't make this up. Oakland replaces traffic lights with stop signs after homeless steal the copper wire. We covered the other day. Yeah, look, they just got a stop sign out there. We're reverting into like the Stone Age with leftism. This is a perfect, encapsulation of that on a fractal scale. This is what's happening to societies around the world that embrace communism. And the left, California is all about it. We covered the other day that copper wire was being stolen from the Tesla chargers as well. Remember that? Did you see that story?
Yeah. It's just, wow.
Right?
Hey, if they want it, they're going to get it, and they don't care.
That's right. And the best way to red pill a liberal, is to actually give them what they want. Because then shit like this starts happening, and shit like what was happening in, Chicago starts happening, where people are calling the police and nobody shows up for 4+ hours. That'll red pill them. That'll make them realize.
Well, the same thing happens in Detroit. When I was growing up in Detroit, we call the cops and tell them somebody's shot and go, "Are they dead?" No, well, call us when he's dead.
Damn, dude. That's so hardcore.
Yep.
Super, super hardcore. We will eat the bugs, that old sheepdog. That's right. That's right.
Hey.
And conspiracy realist. I've had that on my business card since 2008. Or maybe like 2010.
That Nazi resigned, I guess, today.
What Nazi?
Charles Schwab.
No way.
Yep.
Klaus?
Resigned. Yep. Klaus Schwab. He resigned.
Let's see. Wow. All right. Good job with that, Ed. That's a great story to cover. World Economic Forum founder Klaus Schwab steps back from executive post. This article at Semaphore. World Economic Forum founder Klaus Schwab steps back. Holy crap. The Scoop. World Economic Forum Executive Chairman Klaus Schwab will be stepping back from his role running the global gathering since he founded it in 1971. Schwab announced his intentions in an email to staff on Tuesday that was shared with Semaphore by a person connected to the organization. He'll be stepping down as executive chairman and transitioning to a role as non-executive chairman, he said, adding the change in his role is pending approval by the Swiss government. In a statement, a spokesperson for the forum said that the organization is, quote, transforming from a convening platform to the leading global institution for public-private cooperation. Oh, you know what public-private cooperation is called, right?
NGO?
Fascism, right? The merger of corporations and government. That's Mussolini's definition of fascism. So they're literally forming the leading global institution for fascism. The forum's government.
Property in Hawaii.
Oh, go ahead.
I want to know if he owns any property in Hawaii.
Good question. Good question. The forum's governance structure is set to change as a result of that evolution, a spokesperson said, and Schwab, quote, will transition from executive chairman to chairman of the board of trustees by January 2025. Schwab has not named his successor, but said that over the last year, the group's executive board, quote, under leadership of President Borge Brende, has taken full executive responsibility. Brende is a former Norwegian conservative leader. Interesting. Really interesting. Good find with that.
I think we should really, really, really investigate Sweden.
Yeah. Why? Why? Well, why?
It seems like everything comes out of there. They're so like we just stay out of everything. No, something's up with that.
Interesting. Are you thinking Switzerland?
Yeah, Switzerland. You know what I meant.
now I know. Klaus Schwab steps down. Crazy news. I was not expecting that today. Let's jump into our next topic. Norm Eisen, key architect behind the color revolution, And 180 lawfare cases against Trump is confronted outside a courthouse. We are change style. Let's check this out. Norm Eisen, key architect behind the color revolution and lawfare cases against Trump, was confronted outside a Manhattan courthouse by the founder of Crowdsource the Truth. "You're a fucking liar," the reporter shouted at Eisen. "You set this all up and Costello just exploded your bullshit. You're going to jail, bro." Trump's defense witness Robert Costello on Monday testified that Norm Eisen coerced Michael Cohen to pay Stormy Daniels out of his own pocket. Eisen wilted and walked over to a cop for protection. Let's check out the video.
Norm, exactly the guy I wanted to speak to.
Sorry, I'm on a call.
Well, it doesn't matter because you're a fucking liar who set this all up and Costello just exploded your bullshit. You're going to jail, bro. What's the matter?
Officer, this gentleman is harassing me.
I'm not harassing him. I'm asking him questions. This is a guy who's lied to set up this whole trial. Norm, I'm not harassing you. I'm asking about how you've lied
Glad
to set up this whole
intervene.
trial, how you've obviously coerced Michael Cohen to pay Stormy Daniels out of his own money. That's exactly what Costello testified to, and that
Ooh, glitching out over here.
Daniels out of his own money. That's exactly what Costello
don't know if it's the
testified to,
original video
and that
or
you're lying
us.
about, Norm. Why are you lying, Norm? You are destroying this country. You know that? You're going to go to jail, Norm. Jail, Norm. They like guys like you in jail. You know what happens to you in jail, Norm?
You got to sit on a donut. That's what happens to you in jail.
Well, at least that stupid ass Q shit got one thing right. They're not going to be able to walk down the street.
Yeah. As damaging and misleading as a lot of the Q stuff was, it did wake up a lot of people and get people thinking for themselves, even if it's down rabbit holes of some wild stuff. But it's good that people are thinking and waking up. It's definitely had a positive effect in that sense. So Norm Eisen is allegedly behind every lawfare case against President Trump. Michael Cohen went to Norm Eisen in 2016 with his Stormy Daniels hush money payment grift. Over here at Trash Discourse, they're breaking it down. Michael Cohen went to Norm Eisen in 2016 with his hush money payment grift that he was just exposed in court to lying about so he could garner favor with Trump. He was passed over because he's an incompetent weasel, and Norm admits to having 10 drafted impeachments waiting before Trump even took office. Do you all see now? We've been telling you this for years. You can't impeach somebody for out of office conduct. It has to be like things that you did in office.
You were the very first to warn me of all this, that Donald Trump was not, when I interviewed you right before you went to start serving your time, you stood up and did the right thing. You went to start serving your time in Otisville. I came to see you in New York, and when I was starting my impeachment work, and you showed me who Donald Trump really was. And one thing you said stuck with me, and it was the theme of 2023. It relates to this absolute immunity conversation we're having. It's going to be the biggest issue in the world in 2024. Like 2024 is going to be a historic year for the 3 millennia long history of democracy.
Fuck democracy.
You told me Donald Trump will never leave the White House voluntarily. Do not expect a peaceful transition of power. He is going to refuse to go if he loses. And that is still the issue, of course, that came to the fore. You helped me get ready. That's part of the debt of gratitude I have to you. You helped me get ready. That's why when I drafted, it's in my book. I write about you in my impeachment book, A Case for the American People, and I revealed for the first time we had 10 articles of impeachment. We only ended up using 2, but why? You inspired me to do 10 because you warned me, this guy is a dictator. And you were the first, Michael. You were the first full extent of Trump's danger.
This guy really is a lying weasel, just completely inverting reality.
To democracy. The first person who told me to my face. I went to talk to you about these hush money payments and 2016 election interference. By the way, we were ahead of the curve on that too, my friend.
Ahead of the
you
curve
were the very first
orchestrating it. So ridiculous. So pretty funny. I like seeing these guys confronted in public. Luke Rudkowski at We Are Change is legendary for doing that, confronting Rockefellers and Rothschilds and everybody like that. Are you familiar with those old videos, Big Ugly?
Nope.
Hell yeah. Oh, no? Oh, there's so
No.
many good ones. Luke started We Are Change. He's been questioning 9/11 truth, like pushing 9/11 truth stuff, questioning the official narrative since around 9/11. I think he lost family to 9/11. And he would just go around New York and get like ambush interviews with tons of these high-level people when they're like going back and forth between the airport and the train station and stuff. Lots of really good ones. Oh, Stryker was agreeing with you about investigating Switzerland, and he just made a good point. Who guards the pontiff? The Swiss guard, right?
Yep.
That's interesting. Yeah, and this is definitely true too. Q had its perks until certain parties hijacked it long after the trip codes were changed. Said parties steered a lot of people to J6. Agreed. That Q was a big part in the J6 setup, in my opinion. Yeah, and Luke Rudkowski is the shizzle, and he he raided Epstein Island famously over the summer when oh, we got a troll! Yay! Good stuff.
We do
Yeah,
have
he went to Epstein Island over the summer when that whole thing was going on, and got footage on the island, amazingly enough. But the FBI had already been there and snatched away all of the videotapes and everything like that. So let's see, what do we got next? We got a cool one here. We missed this story yesterday, which was the 84th anniversary of Igor Sikorsky demonstrating the viability of the helicopter. Check this out. This is really cool. Rainmaker 1973, Massimo posted this. Let's full screen and check it out. The helicopter prototype in action. Got the foot controls, got the hand controls, skeleton frame, got the pistons going and everything.
I'll be right back, Sterling.
Sounds good. Really cool. So badass. Helicopters, man. Really cool technology. Also terrifying. You can't just coast to safety in a helicopter. And let's hop over to Bill Sobel on X. 7 out of plane crashes are targeted kills, he said. And I know it's not a plane, but similar principle, generally speaking. Risky Yadav posted this. Breaking helicopter carrying President Raisi suffered a premature hard landing. So he's posing the question, was this intentional? Remember that Iran had just launched attacks against Israel, and Israel had threatened to take action. So this is indeed taking place at a sketchy time. Oh, we got this. Fun.
If you don't have trolls, it's no fun. You know, there's no point in even responding to them. They're brain dead.
Yeah.
And they can't help it.
Oh, for sure. It's an honor that we're getting trolls.
Thank you
for thanks for interacting and helping the algorithm. Appreciate it. Keep commenting, keep coming over on new usernames and boosting the algorithm. Appreciate it. So we had another incident with the, I don't know if this is accurate, pro-Hamas protesters or not, but we had protesters screaming during Antony Blinken's Senate testimony. Some agitators reportedly facing criminal charges as a result. Secretary of State Antony Blinken faced fire from both senators and pro-Hamas protesters during a Senate Foreign Relations Committee hearing on Tuesday. But no one could argue that rough actions of the Capitol Police stole at least part of the show. The committee hearing was supposed to be centered around Biden regime's budget request for the 2025 fiscal year, but as Blinken entered the room, the protesters led by Code Pink greeted him with cries of war criminal, accurate, secretary of genocide, accurate, and other unfriendly names. Let's take a look.
Secretary of Genocide has entered the room. How embarrassing. War criminal. Tens of thousands. War criminal. What an embarrassment to international law. Genocide enabler. How sick. Complicit in genocide. War criminal. War criminal. The blood of 40,000 Palestinians is on your hands. War criminal. Enabling genocide in Gaza. The blood of 40,000 Palestinians is on your hands. Butcher Blinken. War criminal. Butcher Blinken. War criminal. War criminal. The blood of over 40,000 Palestinians is on your hands. Bloody Butcher Blinken. Your genocide is your legacy. Shame on you. No more murder Israel.
The Senate Foreign Relations Committee come to order.
Chaos. Hind Rajab was 6 years old when Israelis killed her. You'll be remembered as the Butcher of Gaza. Yeah, it's horrible. What's going on over there? Any slaughtering of innocents is bad. The nuclear bombs were bad. Bombing, civilian cities in Europe was bad when the Allies did it, as well as when the Axis powers did it. It's just not good. Just not good. Let's see, what do we got next? Commander Creep.
Not yet.
Commander Creep. We got Joe Biden advising young men to, quote, marry into a family with 5 or more daughters. One of them will always love you. That's not creepy advice at all.
Wow.
Dude, can you believe that he said that?
Daughter.
What was that?
Mr. I shower with my daughter.
Yeah, seriously. This is Alicia Powell writing this article over at the Gateway Pundit. Joe Biden may be the biggest embarrassment to the executive office in U.S. history. The installed commander-in-chief traveled to Nashua, New Hampshire on Tuesday to sell his legislative accomplishment with this election year. While discussing the impact of the PACT Act, a law that helps veterans receive benefits for toxic exposure during their service, Biden went on a tangent, offering his supporters marital advice. Oh my God. And by the way, Biden said, I say to every young man thinking of getting married, marry into a family with 5 or more daughters. I did. My wife's the oldest of 5 sisters. Oh my God. You know why? Let's just watch the video.
And by the way, I say to every young man thinking of getting married, marry into a family with 5 or more daughters. I did. My wife's the oldest of 5 sisters. You know why? One of them will always love you. Not the same one. One of them will always be on your side. That's the biggest advantage of marrying into 5 daughters. And by the way,
Wow.
Great marital advice from our sterling, commander-in-chief, to use my own moniker as an adjective. Completely crazy. Imagine if a sane person like Donald Trump, who Democrats routinely tried to remove from office with claims of mental illness, said such a thing. Yeah, it's shower time. Oh my God. So messed up. So messed up. Let's jump on to our next story. Environmental Protection Agency is warning of cyber attacks to the U.S. water systems. So make sure you have water filters, water stored up in case you need supplies of water in the near future. The national security of the United States will remain in perpetual jeopardy until the installed administration is out of office. Joe Biden is the laughingstock of the world as America's enemies are ramping up the attacks. The EPA has issued an enforcement alert urging water systems to take immediate action to protect the nation's drinking water from foreign cyber attacks. This kind of thing should have been handled years and years and years ago. It's ridiculous that we're vulnerable to this type of thing at all. What we didn't learn from the Battlestar Galactica lessons to not network critical infrastructure type stuff. Cyber attacks against water utilities across the country are becoming more frequent and severe, the agency announced Monday. EPA officials warn approximately 70% of utilities inspected by federal officials over the last year violated standards designed to mitigate cyber threats. As nation-states, including Russia and Iran, have impacted water systems of all sizes, even smaller water systems are being urged to improve protection against cyber attacks. Water systems typically rely heavily on computer software to operate treatment plants and distribution systems. The cybersecurity waters are deficient, as those running the systems failed to change default passwords or bar system access to former employees, the EPA states in the alert. That's insane. Look, it's the Hoover Dam. Is it a goddamn? The agency notes that a cyber attack on U.S. water systems could result in damage to pumps and valves, interruptions to water treatment and storage, and alteration of chemical levels to hazardous amounts, aka making the fluoride levels skyrocket, coming after your brain power and your pineal gland. Quote, in many cases, systems are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is to have completed a risk assessment of their vulnerabilities that includes cybersecurity and to make sure that a plan is available and informing the way they do business. Individuals and groups have targeted water networks for ages, often attacking websites. That's the thing, networks. Got to figure out how to do it without networks. Now attackers are targeting utilities operations, and governments are intent on draining the supply of safe water to homes and businesses. China, Russia, and Iran are, quote, actively seeking the capacity to disable U.S. critical infrastructure, including water and wastewater, McCabe continued. We want to make sure that we get the word out to people that, quote, hey, we are finding a lot of problems here. In other words, they're planning to attack our own infrastructure. And they're setting the seeds to, planting the seeds to blame foreign countries. In January, a hack linked to a Russian hacktivist group caused a small Texas town's water system to overflow. Cyber Avengers, a group linked to the Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, targeted multiple organizations, including a small Pennsylvania town's water provider late last year. The attack forced the water provider to switch from a remote pump to manual operations. The hackers were targeting a device produced by Israel and used the utility on the heels of the latest Israel-Hamas war. An estimated 150,000 community water providers serve small towns and cities nationwide. Definitely setting dangerous precedents.
Like you said, get water and water filters, everything. Because something's going to happen. For sure, something's going to happen.
Definitely. They're planning. It's going to be like all kinds of things happening over and over. I'm sure that it's just going to be a never-ending spiral. Let me grab Loki. She's off somewhere again. Tweet, what are you doing over there? The EPA is also establishing a waste sector cybersecurity task force to outline strategies to defend against the threat. The letter also charged the Chinese-sponsored hacking group Volt Typhoon with targeting critical infrastructure sectors like drinking water in the U.S. as an example of the threat. So yeah, water filters, those little tablets you put in water to purify them. Water supply, just, if I'll just buy cases of water and just stack them up. Just have stacks and stacks of water.
That's what I've done.
Just as many as you possibly can. Let's jump into some more redacted stuff about the UN invasion that's occurring right now. Let's jump ahead to 550 in this video from yesterday.
Viktor Orban. That's why they don't like him. But wait, there's more. A new report from UK's Jim Ferguson shed light on what's really going on. Spoiler alert, it's not pretty. As Jim Ferguson exposed in this interview, they're actually United Nations trained army soldiers being paid and delivered by the United Nations Now, Greg Reese did a great job clipping this soundbite together. I encourage you to watch the whole thing, but here are some unbelievable takeaways from Jim's interview, and here's just a highlight. Take a look.
This isn't normal. There's something
So
not
crazy.
right. This isn't just refugees coming
exactly
in. These
what I
aren't
was
people
saying
fleeing from
in
some kind of
October.
war zone. These are predominantly men aged between 25 and 35. Young
Yep, that's right,
fighting age
Alicia.
men, as my old boss Nigel Farage once referred to them, and I think he's right. John, what do you think's going on here, mate?
So I can tell you these are UN soldiers and they will be deployed by the WHO when they announce the next pandemic lockdown. That's what's going to happen. They've been trained by British soldiers. They've been trained by the Black Watch Regiment. They were training them in Antalya in Turkey and in the east of Ukraine. They're predominantly down to sergeant ranks. They're then shipped to
For
France.
some reason, it's not
They
letting me
all
pull up
sign
your
the
comment,
Official
Alicia, but I'm
Secrets
trying
Act.
to.
Then they're ferried over. If you were fleeing war and tyranny, I don't know about you, but I would certainly take my wife and children with me. They're most precious. They're my prized asset. You know, they're everything to me. If you're going to war, you go to war with the lads. They're going to be deployed. They will be deployed.
John, I mean, you say you've spoken to people in the Black Watch. I mean, the Black Watch, a very famous, regiment.
Yes.
Are they actually going along with this?
They've got no choice. Well, I kind of said, why are you doing it? And he said, soldiers follow orders. What you're going to see is the following. We'll have a minister somewhere in cabinets suddenly come up with a great idea on how we're going to get these guys to contribute to help us. And they're going to put them in uniforms. So a couple of people have told me these uniforms are burgundy. Others have told me they're UN blue.
Wasn't it the French troops in World War II that had like crazy light blue uniforms? Or right after World War I, actually?
I really don't know. I guess we'll see when they deploy them. They are going to be deployed because otherwise, if they announced another lockdown, what would everyone say? They'd say bollocks and they'd go about their business, wouldn't they? They're going to need armed young men in uniform to try and enforce it.
I put the blue helmets on the on the screenshot or the thumbnail for today.
And they don't have
invasion.
So they're
What was that?
screwed. And they don't have their 2A. They're screwed.
Oh, in Europe, yeah, it's happening here though too. All the people coming over the
I know
border,
it's happening
yeah.
here, but the thing is that they can't get to every city.
Oh yeah, for sure. They'll be, and we all have guns too, so it's a much more dangerous and risk laden game over here. But Europe, they're totally screwed, like you said, because they don't have guns except for Switzerland. Is it where they're where everybody has a rifle and it's like mandated?
No,
Investigate Switzerland, or is that Sweden? One of these. Yeah, so I added the blue helmets to this World War II picture to describe to show the UN invasion. Just thought that was kind of funny. Let's continue.
Why do they import young men from the East? Because traditionally, if you want to kill and tyrannize white people, you put black soldiers in because there's a cultural disassociation. And that's their method. That's the way these globalists are going to do it.
In America, when it was a colony of the United Kingdom, of Britain, there was a revolution against British colonial rule.
That's right.
A lot of people didn't realize, but it was only 3% of those people in America that overthrew the British forces and basically got rid of them. 3% of the population, John.
I look forward to it. I'm ready. I can't wait.
I'll eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. It took 3%, only 3% back in the day, though, before the deep state and the powers that be had access to crazy force multipliers and also simultaneously prevented citizens from being able to access weapons of war and those same force multipliers. So the power balance is a little bit different now. They can hover a blimp over your neighborhood and scan through everybody's house and pick out all the life signatures and, make sure they're rating from the back, basically. Like they have lifetime monitoring of everything. If they're like trying to round people up, it's going to be hard to prevent it this time, even if we do all have rifles and, behind every blade of grass. It's going to be messy. It's going to be messy. And that's what I think we're headed to. They're bringing in tons of people over the borders. A lot of them have even been armed, as we've seen in the videos of them crossing. And in the case of that rancher who got arrested and was on trial for killing one of the people that was crossing his property, even though odds are it wasn't him who shot the guy. The guy, thankfully, he just got acquitted of that, or it was a mistrial or something, and he won't be tried again. So congratulations for that. Alicia, how are you doing? You went to ER last Friday, right? How's your foot? Was your foot? Is that what's going on? Sounds good, Ed.
Wait, because I know it's going to be the beginning of the end for them. I do foresee victory. I see that at very great cost. But we will see it. And
I heard an interesting thing yesterday. I think a video Gator sent to me. He was talking about this guy was talking about how, this international banking cartel monetary manipulation system was created and by really smart people who knew what they were doing, and now it's like the descendants of those people that are implementing it, and it could lead to their own downfall. So that's a hopeful hopeful perspective about that as well. Let's see, what do we got next? And sorry guys, I'm trying to bring your comments up, but my comments stopped refreshing inside the system like 10 minutes ago, it looks like, so I'm unable to bring up your comments. Mark Coos, Maritime 1995, good to see you. Hope you're having a good week, bro. Thanks for being here. Let's skip ahead to 10:22 in this video and check in with the Haitian migrants who are getting money from the U.S. paid on UN debit cards. Let's see how they're doing.
Archived had this U.S. bound Haitian in Mexico. He interviewed him where he complains that the United States failed to make its payment on his UN credit card that he was given.
It works. We don't have money, and they haven't deposited to my account. ¿Cuánto te depositaban? El depósito el 7 de enero a 14 de enero, pero ACNUR no deposita nada.
So the whole month of January you haven't received anything. What were they supposed to receive in their...
¿Cuánto es lo que te dan? Es el último pago. ¿Cuánto fue? Cuatro, el dinero, 3,600 pesos.
3,600 pesos was the last payment I received. And it goes. I haven't received. Does that go into your bank account?
¿A dónde va? ¿Tienes una cuenta? ¿Una tarjeta? Sí. ¿Tienes?
Oh, let me see. And how much is anything on that card now at all? Any money?
Dinero ese? No hay dinero. No hay nada. No deposita nada.
Thanks to our awesome mods, also, by the way.
Imagine AI has played a tremendous part in my post.
Let's skip this commercial.
So just to get a closer look up here, take a closer look at that UN bank card, the United Nations bank card.
This is a planned attack.
Unbelievable. Now, if you need any more evidence of this, just look at Gaza. This might be a hard pill for some people to swallow, but the United Nations has been captured on video,
cooperating with Hamas,
coordinating with Hamas soldiers, as you can see here. So these are UN vehicles at UN
both sides,
headquarters. Drone recently captured footage of Hamas with these UN personnel support transporting themselves in UN vehicles. And they're using United Nations buildings for the sake of hiding and staging attacks against Israel. Hamas, of course, was created by Israel, as Netanyahu openly has admitted. That's well established now. And they're armed by the United States. That's well
established as well. Thank you guys for being here. We got 42 people live on Rumble. Shout out to everybody that's hanging out with us. Crazy B, Striker, Maritime, Natron, and we got guest Big Ugly Ed. Always good to have you on the show, man. What was that? It seems like for like a couple seconds, right when you start talking, your voice is muffled, and then it clears up for some reason. Can you repeat that?
Don't forget to thank our trolls.
Still, it could only hear like the second half of that. I don't know. Something's going on with your mic. It's weird.
Well, I might go to headset. Hang on. I said, don't forget to thank our trolls.
Oh yeah, thanks for the trolls. They got the gist and bounced. Yeah, I couldn't care less what they're saying. It's just getting in the way of me being able to read your guys' comments.
Yeah. I mean, it's
so
like,
thanks for that.
They come on and they start talking about Trump instantly. We're not even talking about Trump right now. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah.
Watch
They're
and
just
learn.
deranged, you know? Like, all they think about is Trump. He lives in their heads rent-free. It's hilarious. And, you know, if you're going to keep, you know, trolling, that's fine, because we could use the algorithm boosts. So comment away. We'll just delete them, and thanks for helping boost us. So yeah, if you guys are enjoying the show, make sure to check out alplama.com. If you're having issues that you need resolved and you don't want big pharma, there are a lot of natural remedies out there. And if you want to support the show directly, head on over to our Linktree /Common Censored, where you can subscribe monthly. We don't have any like bonus content or anything on Subscribestar or Locals. We're doing the honor system, right? We're putting out all the content for free for now. And if you like it, you can support us with a monthly subscription or donating via Cash App, Venmo, etc. Available through the Linktree. Thanks for joining. What was that, Ed?
Did you watch Lou's live earlier?
No, what was happening?
He had I can't remember the guest's name, but he was talking about the cartels. And
the Mexican cartels?
Yeah, the guy was actually the guy lives in Mexico, and it was a pretty good interview. You have to watch it. Yeah, that one right there.
Yeah, I've seen
We
this
are
guy
live,
before.
ladies and gentlemen.
I think you've seen him traveling around with Ben Bergquam.
Yeah, he's the one that I think was in Peru, in the jungle of Peru.
Yeah.
But yeah,
down
that was
down at the Darien Gap and everything.
Yeah, that was a really good live.
Nice. So everybody check this out. Bombshell. He's exposing the secret NGOs and cartels trafficking at the border. Quote, America is done. Sorry, bro. America was done decades ago. 1913 was the gunshot to the chest, and the OSS was the pulling of the life support, basically. So we're going to have to refresh, restart, maybe a reset in our favor. We're going to have to take the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and just start with that all over again. Bare bones.
Time to get off.
And yeah, it's and it's crazy. The UN's over there coordinating with Hamas. We're under attack from a variety of vectors, including this one. How about this? Did you see this? Mario Nafal posted this. Microplastics found in human testicles. Researchers found microplastics in all 23 human testicles. Is that like 23? They test both balls from individuals, or just test one ball from each person? Like 23 is an odd number. Did somebody have only one testicle? Was it Hitler? And 47 dog testicles tested. Human testicles had 330 micrograms of plastic per gram of tissue, and almost 3 times higher than the dogs. Polyethylene and PVC were the most common plastics. High microplastic contamination correlated with lower sperm counts in dogs. Further research is needed to confirm effects on human sperm counts. But that's what's happening. They don't want us to repopulate. They don't want us to reproduce. They are coming after your nutsack guys in a variety of ways with synthetic soys, with soy itself, but with all the soy chemicals as well, like glyphosate and everything, bisphenol A, etc. And you're eating microplastics that are affecting the way that your body works. It's super, super sketchy, man. I don't even know what to do about the microplastics. We just got to start just buying just regular old, just straight up beef and beans and rice, and just eating only that. No processed foods, no nothing. We need those animal fats. This is insane. And we talked about recently how Fleckus Talks showed a report claiming that people were eating the equivalent of a credit card's worth of plastic every week, which is nuts. It can't be good for us. At least these studies are coming out and people are realizing this now. Like after the whole GMO thing was exposed, cereal started taking out GMOs, and people started to stop using GMOs in their companies. So there needs to be massive awakening where people just stop doing this crazy stuff. And the only reason they're doing it in the first place, the only reason they had to start cutting corners and making everything cheaper and using cheaper ingredients, was because of the central banks leeching all the value out of our economic system, forcing everybody to cut corners and use cheap ingredients and everything.
Yep.
So we got to get rid of the banks. And like, think about it. Every time you use a credit card, the bank takes a cut of that, and they're leeching money from everything, every transaction. It's insane. What was that?
I don't have a credit card.
Yeah, no, yeah, I have a debit card.
I don't even have
yeah, yeah, probably good way to go. But it's not only our testicles that are under attack, it's also Trump's lawyers, his testicles, his legal balls. Trump lawyer Christina Bobb arraigned on junk charges relating to 2020 alternate electors, which is madness. President Trump's lawyer Christina Bobb on Tuesday was arrested, arraigned, and booked in Phoenix on junk charges related to Arizona's alternate electors. This is common practice, man. JFK used alternate electors in Hawaii in 1960 and won the election, falling back on the alternate electors. Christina Bobb pled not guilty to all charges. Last month, Trump 2020 alternate electors, GOP state electors, former Arizona GOP chairwoman Kelly Ward, and others were indicted by a state grand jury in Arizona. A total of 18 people involved in the Arizona alternate electors plan were indicted by the Arizona grand jury last month. President Trump was named unindicted co-conspirator number 1 in the indictment because he made a phone call about ballot counting to former Governor Doug Ducey. Trump lawyers Christina Bobb, Jenna Ellis, scumbag Rudy Giuliani, and John Eastman were all indicted. Welcome to Biden's America, Christina Bobb said on X next to her booking photo. Not the best photo of her. Rudy Giuliani was also arraigned, and that's next on our list. So let's switch over to that article. Total clown world. Just in, Giuliani arraigned on junk charges related to Arizona alternate electors, pleads not guilty, posts $10,000 bond. So they're coming after lawyers. This is nuts. This is straight up like Soviet show trial madness. Please consider donating to these people's funds. We can't allow lawyers to be abused like this. Trump's former lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, on Tuesday was arraigned as well. He appeared remotely for his arraignment, pleading not guilty to all 9 charges, including conspiracy, fraud, and forgery. Wow. Giuliani posted a $10,000 bond and will appear in Phoenix, Arizona for his booking photo within the next 30 days. Making martyrs, man. They're making martyrs. It's really not smart politically. Last month, Trump 2020 alternate electors were indicted, as we talked about. 18 people. All these lawyers are being arrested. So insane. We covered that. All the electors at the time when they were being arrested. Let's check out this. Let's do a brief palate cleanser.
Let's get off CommieTube first.
Okay. Yeah, good idea. We're at an hour, 3 minutes, perfect timing. All right, guys, we're going to shut down the party on YouTube and Facebook. Sorry to ditch you guys, but we're trying to drag everybody over to Alt Tech. So we'd appreciate if you join us. If not, sorry to have to ditch you. We'll be back tomorrow on the flip side for Hump Day. But until then,